Okay. I got a real special one today. I'm gonna make some Frankenstein plactions. I've been talking about it for a while now, but I've been wanting to emulate the plastic faction by putting my faction sole plate onto my Mesmers. So I talked to Clark when I was out at the compound about what it might mean to make that happen, and he said reach out to Justin Thursday. So I talked to Justin Thursday, got a sole plate adapter for the Them skates, simply because we've never scanned the Mesmer shell and we don't know exactly the heel rise and what would perfectly make it to adapt to this sole plate. So I decided just to go for it. I'll be honest, at first glance, it's not too bad. My special little rig here, I took the original Mesmer insoles, poked holes in them, and put the UFS bolts through those holes to give a little more height to the boot, because looking at it compared to the other one, I'm pretty sure that the heel on the Faction Stein is just a little bit lower than it naturally sits in the actual sole plate. So I'm gonna give these a skate and see how they do. I kept one stock because I wanted to see how this one is going to roll compared to this. I'm only using 2 UFS bolts on this sole plate because I wasn't gonna go through the effort of mounting all 8 screws per sole plate. So I did get to try the plastic Factions when I was in Maryland, and I really enjoyed them. So I'm super excited to see if these are even gonna come close to emulating it while I wait for them to get put on the market. So let's go. Okay, first steps in skate. I'm also using auto tracking for the first time. Let's see how it does. They feel the same. They sound the same. Good response, although coming from the Factions, absolutely no flex. It's still tracking me. Yeah, immediate first impressions, I don't think anything's different. So I'm gonna do a no-fall session today, specifically just trying to learn this boot to see if there are, in fact, any differences between the Faction Stein and just a good old stock Mesmer. So I'm gonna do things like, I'm gonna try toe rolls, heel rolls, maybe, you know, drill a few misty flips, easy. That being said, let's put it through its pace. Okay. I think it's safe to say that there is no difference. I'm really happy about that. So you can see how these sole plates hold up with just 2 UFS bolts and a bunch of stuff wedged in between them and the boot. Okay, I'm just gonna come out and say it. These things rock. They are far from a perfect build, but honestly I've noticed no difference between the Faction Steins and the stock Mesmers, other than my grinds are a lot better. I was never really able to get topside grinds on the stock Mesmer sole plate, but I was able to get a fish brain again on these sole plates. Speed, maneuverability, and power transfer all feel the same. You wouldn't think so, but I have noticed no difference. I was blasting around the park in these, going as fast as I normally would, and I noticed no difference. Anyway, it's time for me to confess something. The reason I set this up on my Mesmers was because I didn't know I was going to be able to get 909s for such a good price. And the 3D printed heel riser in this is actually for the 909s, for the medium. So after finding that deal and those getting here so much faster than I was expecting, I did want to give these a try because I was committed to it already. But it's time to change course. And we're gonna do the Faction Steins with the 909s. The Faction 90 Steins, I don't really know. I'll see you there, party people. All right, everybody, your favorite disembodied voice of that one wackadude. I wanted to show you my really janky setup here on the Mesmers, because, you know, jank is dank, or whatever the kids are saying. Here is the footbeds that I took out of the Mesmer that I took to a shooting range, shot a hole through for the UFS bolts. Now it's time to deconstruct the 909s. A little surprise came my way when I totally forgot that these sole plates are actually what mounts the skate to the boot. There is no UFS bolt. So I thought maybe if I put the UFS receptor in the sole plate, that would work. And again, silly me, you can't attach the sole plate and the frames to the boot without the UFS bolt or by putting in all 8 screws. It's not going to do that. So I decided to put the heel riser on and then drill some holes out afterwards. Accidentally spilled some red Mountain Dew on my skate, so make sure you don't do that. And of course, you just get right to drilling. After that, I put the UFS bolt inside of the hole and made sure to tighten down the UFS screw to really pull that receptor all the way through the hole. Also, make sure for this next step to take your laces out, because if you push through with this drill bit, you're gonna rip your laces like I did. Anyway, repeat that process, try to sink that UFS receptor into the boot itself, and voila, here we have it.
The ritual has been completed.
Here they are, the original plan. So I've set these up in the same way that I set up the Mesmers. They also have the little heel pad underneath the toe, because this too has a little bit of a toe raise. If you watch the stream of me building the Mesmers, you'll see that I did not take into account the fact that the toe does go up on these boots. And I didn't know that about the 909s either, so fun little factoid there. I've spent enough time with the 909s before when I had the Pat Ritters to know that I'm gonna enjoy these skates regardless. It just comes down to how much control am I gonna have with this much space between the sole plate and the boot. So all things considered though, I'm all stretched up and feeling limber. So I'm gonna get these bad boys on, start rolling around, warm up, do some tricks, and we'll see if I have successfully created a plastic Factionstein. Technically, these are my monster, and I am Dr. Wackenstein. Okay, these are way too big. I don't know why. The medium 909s with the second skin fit perfect in the Ritters. If they change the shell size after releasing the Schmedium and the not so extra small, please comment and let me know, because I was unaware if that's the case. I'm gonna take the stock Mesmer footbeds from the liners and put them underneath my liners, and hopefully that'll make a difference. So far they feel vastly different than I remember the 909s feeling, but it has nothing to do with the sole plate or the setup that I have right now, I don't think. So I'm gonna tweak it a little bit and hopefully figure it out, not have to go home and get like heel risers or something. All right, this footbed definitely helped, but I'm still getting crazy toe lift. The heel lift is kind of gone. It's skatable. One thing I'm noticing about this setup though is I feel like I'm standing right on top of the frames because of, I'm sure, the softness. I might try to swap out for a denser one just so I feel like I have actual connection to the sole plate, but right now I kind of feel like I'm skating a Trinity frame. I don't hate it, I feel really nimble, but I'm not used to it. That being said, I do think I can get some tricks done, and the sole plate's already locking and sliding amazingly, so I'm excited to give this a try. Good job. They held up. Honestly, I do not have much to say. These skate amazing. My only real caveats were with the boot itself, nothing with attaching the sole plate to it. I will say it does feel like it's a little less rigid. You really feel like you are balancing on top of these frames more so than you would with all 8 screws of the sole plate. I've been skating both pairs of the Factionsteins for a while now. The Mesmer is about half as long as the 909s, but I probably got a good solid 10 or 15 sessions on the Mesmers, probably got a good 30 on the 909s. Now, I was able to take the 909s out to the street to film for my religion section. I'm pretty proud of the skating that I was able to do in them. So that being said, I think these are absolutely worth the time if you've got the Faction sole plates, 909s or Mesmers, or another raised heel boot, and you want to try to make the Faction sole plate work. It's worth it. I'm going to skate them for a while. I'll probably end up going back to the Mesmers at some point. I'm just going to let this one simmer for a little while, see how long truly these skates are going to last. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the live stream if you were able to catch that when we built the actual Mesmer Factionstein. And thank you so much for putting up with my antics. I will never stop. I love you. All right, later, Bladers. Bye.